adding to the knowledge. We have student management system, and this software is meant for directors, people who own school, uh, headmistress and headmasters. You know, it's very easier to use and simplest to use compared to normal registration of a student, whereby we use a register or a booklet form to record a new student or to register a new student into a school. So we have a software that we will use to manage the students. So, and this software is one of the few I know, and they have a few features. We have a lot of software which have probably more features than this one, but let's talk about this, how to use it. You know, this is the software here, whereby you have the student's ID, the student's first name, the surname, and feeding fees, the class, and the school fees. You have the insert, the update, and the delete. Depends how you want it to be. It have a lot of features more than this. But let's focus on what we have here. And before you have this, you have to have something we call database. So when you register new students here, the database will capture it and store it. In case you need it any other time, you go to the database and fetch it out from there. So this is the database. Here we have the database here. And let's check up here. Okay, here we go. We have the student ID here. We have the student ID here. We have the first name, we have the surname, we have the feeding fees, we have the class, and we have the school fees. And this is the app itself. This is the app itself, and you can see the database is empty. The student ID is empty, the first name is empty, the surname is empty, the school fees is empty, the class is empty, and the school fees is empty because we have not recorded anything. We have not registered any students. So let's start to register students. So you start by the student ID can be a number starting from 1. So you entered 1. The first name, let's make it Peter is the first name. The surname, let's make it uh, Nana, any name at all. And the school fees, let's make it, this is the feeding fee, not school fees here, this is the feeding fee. Let's make it 30. And the class, assume that the person is in class 4. And we have the school fees. Let's assume that the school fees is 60. So we have entered the details of a new student we want to register into our school. So when you click the insert, it means that, have you seen the message here? When you click the insert, it will tell you that you registered the student. So okay, so let's refresh our database and see the person registered, whether we find it here. So when you refresh your database, you see that now the database is not empty. We have a student ID, which is 1, the first name, which is Peter, the share name is Nana, and the feeding fees, which is 30, and the class is class 4, and the school fees is 60. So let's add another one. Let's add another student. So let's go to our software. Let me drag it here. So the student ID, the first one we used 1. So second, let's use 2. The first name is Ernest. The surname is, let's use Kuju, and the feeding fee is 20, and the class is class 5, and the school fees is 50. So let's insert. Okay, got it here. We registered the second student. Okay, let's go to our database and refresh the database. We see the second student, but for now it's only 1 student, which is the first student. So when you when you refresh the database, this is what you say: first and the second. And the second student is Ernest and Kujo. The surname is Kujo, and the feeding is 20. The class is class 5, and the school fees is 50. Right. So let's add another one, the third student. But for now, when you go to the database, you only see 2 students that we added, we registered. So let's add another student there. So let's go to the software. Okay, let me drag it here. So the first name, now the ID of the student. The ID of the student is, let's make it 3. And first name, let's make it Tina. The last name, let's make it Pizza. So let's make the surname to be Pizza, and we have the feeding fee to be 60, and we have the class to, let's make it class 6, and the school fees to be 80. So this is the third student. So when you click on the insert, it means that you're going to register the third student. So have you seen the message? It means that we have registered the third student. So let's go to our database and refresh. But even after the database, you still have 2 students. So when you're refreshing the database, we have the third student in there. So we now have 1, 2, 3. We have registered 3 students here. So this is how to insert or how to register a student to your school. You can register many as possible. You can register to 1,000 students. You can register to 100 students. You follow the same procedure, right? So let's come back to we have finished the registration. I've registered 3 students, and if you want, as I said, you can register many as possible. So let's come back to you update. So when you say you're going to update, it means that you're going to change some details of those who have already registered, the student that you already registered. You want to make changes to them. You want to change some of their information. You can decide to change the first name, you can decide to change the surname, you can decide to change the feeding, or you decide to change the class, or you decide to change the school fees. So assuming that we want to change you want to update the first student, which is Peter. So let me get my software here. Let me get my software here. So let me put the ID, which is 1, because we are working on 1. We're going to update 1. We're going to make changes to uh, the student 1, which is Peter. So let's assume that the first name is Peter, right? So we keep the Peter. We're going to change the first name, and the second name is Nana. We are not going to change the second name, so I'll put it there as it is. And assuming that we're going to change the feeding to the feeding fee of Peter is feeding fees 30. So assuming 30, the school has increased school fees or feeding fee. So from 30 to 35. So the school has decided to increase the feeding from 30 to 35. So the class probably still remain class 4. That's right. And they also decided to increase their school fees because Peter was paying 60 cities or $60 or naira or whatever. So the school fees was 60. Then they decided to increase it from 60 to 65 or 70. Let's make it 70. So we have only made 2 changes, which is the feeding fee and the school fees, which the feeding fee from 30 to 35 and school fees from 60 to 70. So when you click on update, when you click on update, when you click on update, sure, I'm done with the update. So let's go to my database and refresh the database. So when you refresh the database, you not see 30 and 60 again, but you see 35 and 70. So let me refresh it and see. Let's refresh. That's right. So instead of 30, we have 35. Instead of 70, instead of 60, which is the old one, we have 70 for the update. So that's the update for the first student, which is Peter. So let's say uh, I'm going to update uh, I'm going to update the second student. Let's update the second student. Let's update the second student. So the second student, or let's update the second student, which is Ernest. So assuming that I'm just going to change the surname, only the surname. So the student ID is 2. So 2 is there, and the first name, since I'm not going to change the first name, so I'll write as it is, Ernest. Sorry, Ernest. Okay, and Ernest, is it a spelling? Ernest. Yeah, sure. So uh the surname is uh Kujo. So let me change surname to be uh Junior. You get it? Junior. The surname to be Junior, and the feeding fee, Ernest was like feeding fee was 20. So I'll maintain the 20, and class Ernest was in class 5, right? So let me change 5 to 6 because he has been promoted. So 6. And the feeding fee is the school fees rather is 50. So let me update the 50 to 80. So this is the change I've made to Ernest. So the first one, I've changed his surname to from Kujo to Junior. So when I click on the update, it will see Kujo again, but you see Junior. And when you come to the class, he was in class 5 but updated to class 6. So when I click on the update, you no longer see class 5 but you see class 6. And the school fees, NS was paying 50, but it has been, the school have increased their school fees from 50 to 80. So you see 80 instead of 50. So let me the update. So that's right, I've done with the update. So let's click OK, then update, refresh my database. So when I refresh my database, sure, instead of Nana, instead of Kujo, then it has updated to Junior, and the class updated from 5 to 6, and the school fees has been increased from 50 to 80. So that is the update. So I'm done with the update. So let's work on assuming that you want to, there's a student who probably stopped going to your school, stop coming to your school, sorry, and you want to delete that student from your list or from your database. So you want to clear the name, delete the name from your database. This is what you're going to do. So assuming Peter stopped coming to my school, so I want to delete his name to give space to others. So this is what you're going to do. Peter is the index is the ID is 1. You just put only the ID since you're coming to delete it. So when you press the delete button, sure, we have deleted it. So when you come to your database and you refresh it, you will not see Peter again on this your database. So let's refresh it. So you will not see Peter again. Then this number is 1 Peter, whatever. Peter information has deleted. So assuming that you also want to delete Tina, who stopped or he has completed, or any reason that you want to delete her information from your database. So the ID is 3, the ID is 3, the ID is 3. Okay, here you go. The ID is 3. So we just the ID is 3. Sorry, the ID is 3. Let's see. This is 3. So you are deleting it. You're done with it. So when you refresh your database, you're not going to say Tina again. So this is how it is done. So thank you for watching. Then later I'll give you more.